Hey friends, this is Bryn from Cherry Grove Farmhouse. Welcome back to my returning subscribers, or welcome if you're new. I'm going to be cooking a comfort food meal today. We've had lots of things going on, and I'll talk some more about that in just a minute. But we have a roast I picked up, some beef broth, the Kinder's caramelized onion butter that we get at Sam's. We love that stuff. I use it on so many things, and a little bit of seasoned salt. And I'm putting this on to cook before I leave to go to work. This is about 5:30 in the morning, and I'm just going to go ahead and put in probably a cup or a cup and a half of beef broth, and then get our roast seasoned up and get the crock pot going. I love using my crock pot, especially when I'm working, because I can just throw something in like this and cook it all day, and then it's done when I get home. You can put in cuts of meat that are not necessarily really tender, like cheaper cuts of meat, and cook it low and slow in the crock pot, and it will be moist and tender every time. So this roast ended up cooking in the crock pot for about 8 hours, and it was so tender that I was just able to use a couple of forks to shred it. I'm going to make a roux to thicken up the juice that the roast is in, so it'll have a little bit more of a gravy consistency. So I'll just need 3 tablespoons of butter, 3 tablespoons of flour, and you just mix that together and let that cook for a few minutes. And then I added some of the juice from the roast in and mixed it until it was smooth. And then in just a minute, I'm going to add that back in to the crock pot with a roast. So the next Southern comfort food is macaroni and cheese. And I didn't have any of the box kind, which I don't prefer anyway. Now my girls will eat that all day long, but I like to make it homemade anyway. And so I'm going to make creamy macaroni and cheese. There's several reasons why we're craving some good old comfort food. First and foremost, my youngest daughter, who is an avid tumbler, and she's a cheerleader, she had a freak accident when she was doing some tumbling the week before last, and she broke both the bones in her left arm and ended up having to have surgery to have a rod and pins placed in her arm to help repair the breaks. So needless to say, that's been very stressful. And then secondly, we've been doing the Daniel's fast for the last several weeks, and we are just ready for a carb meal, and that's what this is. When you see the final result and the final plate, after I put everything on the plate, you're gonna see a lot of carbs. And you know what? Sometimes you just need a few carbs. I'm making the cheese sauce, and it's very similar to the roux that I made that went into the pot roast. So this is just butter and flour, and I'm going to cook that for just a few minutes so that the flour taste won't be so strong in the cheese sauce. And then I'm going to add in some milk and some cheese, and we will have our sauce ready for our macaroni and cheese. I can tell by the way Pepper is sniffing around in the kitchen. She's hoping and praying for some crumbs to fall. Okay, it's the right consistency, so I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese in. This is the only cheese I had. It's the Food Club Mexican blend cheese, and it turned out just fine. Just a tad more, and it'll be perfect. Since my daughter broke her arm and her surgery, she has not had a really great appetite, but macaroni and cheese, especially the very creamy kind, is one of her favorite foods. So I'm hoping that she's going to enjoy this. There is nothing better than a big pot of creamy macaroni and cheese. So here is everything plated up. This is definitely a good old Southern comfort meal. My husband made pinto beans yesterday with ham, so we're getting to enjoy those again today, along with mashed potatoes, the roast, and the creamy mac and cheese. Yummy. Thank you guys for hanging out with me while I cooked this Southern comfort meal. I hope you'll join me again soon.